Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is a Norman Rockwell picture-perfect kind of day at Hobart-Detter Field here in Hutchinson, Kansas for Hutchinson Blue Dragon Baseball. This is Denny Steckline with you, sitting in for Steve Carpenter on a gorgeous Friday afternoon as we host the Cloud County Community College Thunderbirds in a doubleheader. These teams played yesterday up the road in Concordia, where they split. Cloud taking the first game 3-0, Hutchinson rebounding in the second 9-6. Today for the Blue Dragons, taking the mound will be freshman Miguel Reyes. Reyes making his sixth appearance, fourth start on the season. He's 2-2 with a 4.80 ERA. Want to give a shout out to Steve Carpenter and the rest of the Blue Dragon athletic gang hanging out at the sports arena this afternoon. As at many venues across the state, Hutchinson Community College is hosting the Kansas State High School Activities Association 3A State Basketball Championships, and they're getting ready for semifinal action that will be taking place this afternoon and evening. Starting it off for the Thunderbirds today is going to be the center fielder, Ryan Simons. Simons comes into today's action batting .288. No homers and an RBI on the season. Reyes starts him off. Simons puts it in play. Sartori charges, going to be close. Throws it past him. It's going to get to the dugout. And Simons is going to make it to second on the air. So one pitch, one base runner for the Thunderbirds.
Left fielder, number 7, Matt Bondarchuk.
Matt Bondarchuk now up to bat for the Thunderbirds. Playing left field today, the lefty. Sophomore from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Bondarchuk batting .320 on the year. 1 home run, 9 RBI, squares to bunt, foul down the third base line. Setting the defense for your Blue Dragons at third, Ryan Moritz. Dylan Nedved at short, Logan Sartori at second, and Zach Baxley at first. 4 freshmen. This has been one of the things Coach Schmidt's talked about this season. This young season is the big shoes those men have to fill. Another bunt, another foul. Moritz touches it foul. Quickly 0-2 the count to Bondarchuk. The middle infield for the Blue Dragons last year, you could say, was pretty good, with the shortstop in Shane Cooper, who's now playing in the Detroit Tigers system, and a second baseman in Michael Hellman, who was the National Junior College Player of the Year and is now doing some great things down at Texas A&M. Here's the 0-2 from Reyes. Fouled away into the Blue Dragon dugout. It's the quickest some of those young men have moved. Not much movement in the flag hanging in center field. What little breeze there is appears to be blowing in. Couldn't ask for a much better day. Simons gets his lead off second. Bondarchuk digs in. Reyes checking Simons. Here's the 0-2. And another slow roller. This one Moritz is going to charge. Fire across to Baxley for the out. Simons is going to move up to third on the ground out.
Okay, now I actually have the microphone facing towards my mouth.
Right fielder Enrique Gonzalez at the plate for the Thunderbirds.
Right fielder, number 27, Enrique Gonzalez.
Gonzalez batting .400. 30 plate appearances on the year, 12 hits, a homer, 9 RBIs. Ball 1 in the dirt. You know, on the bright side, with the 2 batters Reyes has faced so far, neither of them have squared the ball up. And neither ball has gotten past the grass of the infield, but the throwing error put the leadoff man on second. This is fouled at the plate, 1-1 the count. And then the slow roller to third moved him up to third. So the T-Birds with a runner at third, one away here in the top of the first. This game's scheduled for 7. Game 2 scheduled for 9. We say scheduled because if Game 1 goes extra innings, Game 2 becomes a 7-inning game. Great crowd out on the party deck and hanging out by the dugouts, getting some sunshine. This one's fouled at the plate. Gonzalez got that one off his foot or ankle, and he's feeling it. He went down and is going to need a minute. Garrett Stevens, the Blue Dragon catcher, and the umpire having some small talk. Umpire's going to clean the plate, let Gonzalez have a few minutes, and he's not doing too well. Coach is going to come out and have a visit with him. Got him right off the inside of the right foot. Coming into today's game, these teams are tied in the Jayhawk West with equal 2-4 records. The season is young. Each team with 16 games played so far this year. Hutchinson 8-8, Cloud 7-9. Here comes Gonzalez. He's walked it off a bit. I mentioned Steve Carpenter is hanging out at the sports arena, so I'm sitting in for him, and sitting in for me at the PA desk is Coach Knack, Dan Naccarato. We thank him for pitching in and helping out today. Anything to get him out of the office, he said. So, ball 2 outside.
More like out of the house.
He corrected me. He'd rather be at the office than at the house, so it's anything to get him out of the house. Coach Knack, some of the wisdom of Coach Knack we like to talk about. Foul down the first base line. Count remains even 2-2. The secret to a happy marriage. Many of us think we know, but only Coach Knack has figured it out. And after many years of marriage, he said the secret to a happy marriage is to spend as little time as possible together. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. T-Birds with a runner at third, top of the first inning. Reyes delivers. Called strike 3. Fastball on the inside corner. Caught Gonzalez looking. So 2 down now. And the Blue Dragons with a chance to get out of this. Chance to get out of this inning with no damage. Brings up the cleanup hitter, Eric Sombrowski.
Designated hitter number
Sobrowski, I apologize for that. Batting .389. Leading the Thunderbirds in home runs with 5, 22 RBIs on the season. Off-speed pitch. Reyes had him chasing. Ahead in the count 0-1. Sobrowski was the winning pitcher in Game 1 of yesterday's doubleheader. He went a complete game, 7 innings, gave up only 2 hits, walked 1. My stat sheet says he struck out 18, which could very well be the case. I didn't get to watch much of that game. Tried to check his swing at the ball in the dirt, fails to do so, strike 3. Great job by Reyes to get out of that. No runs, no hits for the Thunderbirds, top of the first. Blue Dragons coming up. We'll be back with you in just a moment.
Does he say Divas or Jesus?
Blue Dragons coming up to bat here in the bottom of the first. Dylan Nedved, the shortstop, will be leading things off for Hutch.
Leading off the bottom
Dylan, a freshman from Shawnee, Kansas.
Shortstop, Dylan.
Batting .379 on the season. No home runs, 8 RBIs. 3 doubles among those hits. Takes the first pitch upstairs for a ball. Nedved's facing Kobe Spicer on the mound. For Cloud, Dylan lines this one sharply to center, but right at Simons, who hauls it in. Spicer, a sophomore from Hickman, Nebraska, comes into the game with a 1.29 ERA, 0-1 record. This is his 6th appearance. 6th appearance, but in the first 5, just 7 innings, which would explain the 1.29 ERA. Here's Logan Sartori, freshman second baseman. Sartori, part of the Nebraska connection, hails from Lincoln. Logan batting .345 on the year, a pair of home runs, 14 RBIs. Two 2-0 the count. Set the defense for you here in a minute for the T-Birds. Just misses outside, 3-0. Bondarchuk in left, Simons in center, Gonzalez in right. Langley, Huggins, Landetta, and Krolikowski around the infield. DeSantis behind the plate. There's a called strike, 3-1 now the count. And the 3-1 delivery. Logan turns on that, fouls it down the left field line. So the count's now full. If you're tuned into us and you're in Hutch or anywhere close to Hutch and you're looking for a reason to leave the office, there's no better reason than this right here. Absolute perfect weather. College baseball. There's a sharp grounder from Sartori into left field for a base hit. 73 degrees in Hutchinson at the moment. That's going to bring to the plate Bobby Morganson.
Right fielder, number 11, Bobby Morganson.
The bus leading the Blue Dragons with a .390 batting average. Second on the team with 4 home runs. Tied for second with 14 RBIs. He and Sartori are tied. Takes ball 1. Bobby hails from Omaha, Nebraska. Spicer keeping an eye on Sartori. There goes Sartori. Pitches up high, ball 2. Here's the throw. Sartori's got it stolen. So that puts a runner at second now with 1 away. Sartori now with his second steal. Perfect on 2 attempts on the season. 2-0 count now to Morganson. Here comes the delivery. Called strike 1. Doubleheader on tap this afternoon. Inside corner. Evens the count at 2-2. Got a great view from the press box up here at Hobart-Detter Field. See the Arkansas River to our left, Salt City Splash over the right field fence. Not going to be any activity there for a couple of months, but a lot of action taking place at Cary Park Golf Course across the street from us. Throw to second, Sartori back standing up. It's one of the first days we've had this spring where the temperature's been more than pleasant and the wind has not been howling. Here's the 2-2 pitch, is low and inside. So a full count now to Morganson. Blue Dragons have done a good job this year with the opposing pitchers in a lot of cases of working them deep into the count. Anything they can do to speed up the access to the bullpen of their opponent is going to play in your favor more often than not. Here's the full count pitch, low and inside. Morganson's going to walk. That'll put runners at first and second now with one away and bring up the left fielder Wyatt Divis.
Hitting for the Blue Dragons, left fielder number 15.
Divis second on the team in hitting. Batting .380, leads the team with 5 home runs and 16 RBIs. So 2 Dragons on base now. Sartori at second, Morganson at first. Spicer steps off. Like Sartori, Divis hails from Lincoln. Here's the pitch. Flown to left field. And it's going to get over Bondarchuk. Looked like Bondarchuk had a beat on it, but it got away from him. Sartori scores. Morganson to third. Divis into second. And the Dragons strike first and lead it 1-0. Certainly appeared Bondarchuk had a read on that one, and I think it fooled him a little bit and tailed away from him. You know Divis is hitting it well when he goes to the opposite field, because that's where he.
The catcher, number 17, Garrett.
That's where his harvest takes place, is to the opposite field. Garrett Stevens, the catcher, sophomore from Kansas City, Kansas. Garrett's batting .290 on the year, no home runs, 6 RBIs. Off-speed pitch for a strike. Dragons at second and third, bottom of the first. Just one away. 1 run already in on the Divis double. Scoring Sartori. Morganson at third. Stevens at the plate. Just low. Evens the count at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Bottom of the first. Lots of shorts on the scene today. Stevens fouls this one over the press box into the parking lot. Counts 1-2. Some exciting news for baseball fans in Hutchinson that like to frequent Hobart-Detter Field. They're getting very close to breaking ground on the new clubhouse that's going to be built down the left field line. My understanding is there was a meeting this week where they were marking out on the ground where the walls were going to be. I told Coach Schmidt to go out and get some paint that matches it and make the walls where he wants them and get a little more real estate out of it and see if the contractor figures it out. But fouled away again. Count remains 1-2.
Although we could try it when they're up to bat. I'm fine with that.
A lot of folks after the game today will probably head to the sports arena and take in the high school. Stevens lines this one up the middle off Spicer's foot. It's going to go into right field. Morganson scores. Here comes Divis. Gonzalez gets to it, gets it back into the infield. So a sharp line drive. Spicer tried to avoid it. If he'd avoided it, I think it's a base hit up the middle without any issue. But instead, it goes into the hole that was vacated by Landetta when he went to try to cut that ball off up the middle. So a 2 RBI single for Stevens. Brings up Zach Baxley. Dragons up now 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. First pitch swinging. Third baseman knocks it down. Does not get him. That's going to be an error on the third baseman. He hit it hard. Third baseman just couldn't field it cleanly. That puts Baxley at first. On the air, moves Stevens up to second. Ryan Moritz at the plate. Moritz takes the first pitch upstairs. Moritz, a freshman from Omaha, playing third base today for the Blue Dragons. Baxley didn't even give me a chance to get into his statistics, so we'll save that for the next time. Moritz batting .333 on the season. 1 home run, 11 RBIs. Big swing and a miss. He was going for home run number 2 right there. Designated hitter Ryan Steckline on deck. Brock Schaefer to follow. Toby Cornejo holding down the first base coaching box, and Jamel Cervantes keeping things under control at third. At least we hope he's keeping things under control. Blue Dragons at first and second. 1 away. Dragons leading at 3-0. Bottom of the first. Spicer checks Stevens and delivers. In the dirt to Moritz. Both runners take off. They're going to move up 90 feet on the wild pitch. So now we've got a pair of Dragons in scoring position, trying to add to the lead. 2-1 count to Moritz. Outside, 3-1. Dragons have had some instances this year where they've been able to build some leads and some good leads. The problem that they've had is giving some of those runs back later in the game. I think Coach Schmidt would like nothing more than to see them put some runs on the board and then defensively keep the Thunderbirds off the scoreboard. This one's fouled high and out of play to the left. Lands in the patio area, bounces over the fence near the dike by the river. Full count now to Moritz. 1 away. Spicer brings it home. Just misses. Ball 4 to Lodum. So Moritz takes first. Baxley to second. Stevens to third. It's going to prompt a visit to the mound out of the Cloud dugout. As well as a visit from Coach Schmidt to Ryan Steckline before he makes his trip to the plate. Cloud's got the full infield in for the conference. Umpires getting ready to head out and break this up. So the Dragons leading at 3-0, trying to make more of a dent. Normally when an umpire goes out to the mound, everybody gets the hint and disperses, but this one went on for a little bit longer. That'll bring up Steckline. Steckline looking for his first hit on the year. 4 official at-bats, along with a base on balls. Spicer is surrounded by Dragons. First pitch, catches the outside corner for a strike. Blue Dragons so far in the bottom of the first, 3 runs, 3 hits, taking advantage of 1 Cloud County error. Here's the 0-1. Called, strike 2, off speed. Steckline's battled the strikeout bug on occasion. See if he can get one in play here. Down 0-2 in the count. Swing and a miss. That's the second out. So 2 away now. 6 Blue Dragons had reached consecutively between the leadoff out from Nedved and that strikeout by Steckline. Schaefer, Brock Schaefer, the 9th batter of the inning. So the Blue Dragons have hit around here in the first. Schaefer takes that one upstairs. 1-0. Brock controlling center field for the Dragons today. Batting .280 on the season. Home run, 6 RBIs. Here's the 1-0 is down low, 2-0. The 2-0. Chopper from Schaefer. Krolikowski's going to field it at the bag, step on the bag, and end the inning. So the Dragons get 3 on 3 hits, a Cloud County error, and after 1, lead it 3-0.
Leading off the top of the second inning for Cloud.
Welcome back to Blue Dragon Baseball at Hobart-Detter Field. First baseman Ryan Krolikowski is going to lead off top of the second for the T-Birds. Tried to check his swing. They say he did. So 1-0 the count to Krolikowski. Miguel Reyes back on the mound for the Blue Dragons. Krolikowski batting .409, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. Takes ball 2. T-Birds threatened in the first. Leadoff man reached on a 2-bag error. Upstairs 3-0. Moved to third on a ground out. And with him at third with 1 away, Miguel Reyes was able to work out of the jam and keep him off the board. There's the first strike. 3-1 the count. Krolikowski to be followed by Torin Langley and Aiden Huggins. That one's inside. So a leadoff walk in the top of the second. We talk about the Blue Dragons and their Nebraska flavor. There's quite a bit of international flavor, specifically Canada, on the Cloud County roster. Torin Langley. .292 on the season. First pitch swinging, lifts this one up. Nedved calls for it at short. Settles under it and makes the catch. That one had some elevation on it. Shortstop Aiden Huggins. 216 hitter. 1 home run, 4 RBIs on the season.
Shortstop, number 11, Aiden Huggins.
Runner at first, 1 away. Tried to check his swing, didn't matter. Called strike 1. Krolikowski yet to attempt a stolen base on the year. There's a pop-up from Huggins. Sartori making his way to the line, calls it, makes the catch. So 2 away now after the leadoff walk. We'll bring up the Thunderbird catcher Dario DeSantis from Broomfield, Colorado, sophomore.
Batting for the Thunderbirds, the catcher, number 25, Dario DeSantis.
DeSantis batting .368, pair of home runs, 8 RBIs. Krolikowski with a very safe lead off first. First pitch outside. The 1-0 delivery from Reyes. Checks the runner. Swing and a miss. Evens the count at 1-1. Even more people wandering into the ballpark now. A little bit of a breeze picking up as well. Still blowing in. Cross the diamond from left to right. Called. Strike 2. Reyes ahead in the count. 1-2. Krolikowski at first. And the 1-2. This one's grounded to the right side. Sartori with a beat on it. Fires it to Baxley for the 3rd out. So Reyes works around the leadoff walk, gets the next 3, sets them down in order. After 1.5, the Blue Dragons lead it 3-0.
For the Blue Dragons, the shortstop.
Dylan Nedved to lead things off the 2nd inning, much like he led off the 1st inning. Blue Dragons sent 9 to the plate. Dylan lines this one to right, and it's over Gonzalez. It's to the fence. Nedved to 2nd. Looking, he decides to put on the brakes. Dives back in safely, so a leadoff double. Dillon's hit it hard both times up. Both times picked on the first pitch. The first inning, he lined it straight to the center fielder. This one, he got past the right fielder, Gonzalez, for a leadoff double. So that's going to bring up second baseman Logan Sartori. Logan singled to left in the first, stole second, came around to score on the Divis double for the first Blue Dragon run of the game. Takes that one on the outside corner for a strike. Blue Dragon softball's on the road today, heading to Garden City. We want to wish them luck as they take on the Bronkbusters. Upstairs, ball one. Softball returns home, I believe, next Tuesday for some action at Fun Valley. So if you're looking for something to do next Tuesday, take on some Blue Dragon softball. Sartori lifts this one to right. It's pretty shallow. Gonzalez runs, slides, can't get to it. The ball bounces over him. Sartori to second. Nedved turning, puts on the brakes, gets back to third. He had to hold up to see if that was going to get caught. So back-to-back doubles from Nedved and Sartori. Puts runners at second and third. It's almost not fair that Nedved hit his as hard as he did and gets a double. Sartori lifts a little softer fly down the right field line, placed it perfectly, and he gets credit for the same, but the Dragons are going to take him. Brings up Bobby Morganson. Bobby walked in the first. Came around to score on a single by Garrett Stevens. Hutchinson leads it 3-0. Threatening again here in the bottom of the second. Ball two outside. Bobby quickly ahead in the count. 3 runs, 5 hits for Hutchinson. Runners at second and third here in the bottom of the second. Nobody away. Here's the 2-0. Morganson ropes this one deep to center. Simon's back to the warning track. Grabs it. Nedved's going to come home. Sartori holds it at second. Dragons now lead it 4-0 on the sacrifice fly from Bobby Morganson. So 1 away. Now here in the second, Sartori remains at second. Brings up Wyatt Divis.
Number 15, Wyatt Divis.
Wyatt doubled in the first. Later came around to score the third Blue Dragon run. Strike one. Inside corner. Wyatt will be spending his time next fall at the University of Texas Arlington. A Maverick, I believe. Lets that one go high and away. Bobby Morganson, who just batted ahead of him, will be in Boca Raton, Florida, playing for the Owls of Florida Atlantic. 1-1 the count to Divis. 1 away. Inside in the dirt. Sartori's going to take off for third. No throw. So he advances on the wild pitch. 90 feet closer. 1 down. Now Sartori at third. Divis ahead in the count, 2-1. And I can't see a number or get a line on it, but there's some action taking place in the Cloud bullpen. And there's Divis dropping another one down the left field line. That's going to be his second double. Sartori comes in, scores the 5th Blue Dragon run. And Wyatt has his second double and his second one to left. Dragons now up 5-0.
The catcher, number 17, Garrett Stevens.
The 6 Dragon hits, 4 of those are doubles. Brings up Garrett Stevens, who singled in the first. Garrett takes a called strike one. This one's low and in the dirt. Evens the count 1-1. DeSantis kept it in front of him, kept Divis at second. On a beautiful afternoon. Stevens lines this one. Foul and out of play to the right. Over the Cloud bullpen. Just shy of the Cloud bus. Here's the 1-2. Another one fouled to the right. This one into the Cloud bullpen. Catcher tried to make the play. Just out of reach. Spicer comes set and delivers. Stevens lines this down the left field line. That's going to bring Divis home. Stevens with a big turn. He's going to try for two. There's nobody at second. So Garrett Stevens with his second hit. And the fifth Blue Dragon double to put the Dragons up 6-0 here in the bottom of the second. 6 runs on 7 hits, and that's going to be the end of the day for Spicer. So the 1.29 ERA he had coming in is going to take some damage. T-Birds make the call to the bullpen. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with you in just a moment. So Cloud makes a call to the bullpen. With one away in the bottom of the second, Blue Dragons leading at 6-0. Jacob Dower now on the mound for the T-Birds. Dower, a 6-foot freshman from Georgetown, Texas. Comes into the game today with a 6.0 ERA. No wins, no losses. This is his 4th appearance. And he'll be facing Zach Baxley. Baxley reached on an error in the first. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Garrett Stevens at second. He doubled to end Spicer's day. 0-1 pitch is outside. Evens it at 1-1. Dowers pitched 3 innings coming in today. Giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. Ball 2. Baxley ahead in the count, 2-1. Bax was first pitch swinging in the first inning, so we didn't get to tell you he's batting .308. Pair of home runs, 6 RBIs. Here's the 2-1. And he turns on this and sends it high and deep. Forget it. It's in the player parking lot beyond the left field fence. Welcome to the game, Jacob Dower. Zach Baxley with his 3rd home run. And the Dragons now lead it 8-0. Train tracks beyond left field. It's a good thing there wasn't any traffic on those, Coach Knack. You called it.
It was a shot.
There was a no-doubter. Didn't have to worry about the fence or the trees. He cleared them all. Ryan Moritz now to the plate. Moritz, first pitch swinging, rolls this one over to second. Landetta to Krolikowski for the out. So 2 away now here in the bottom of the second. Dragons have put 5 on the board to lead it 8-0. It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Ryan Steckline.
Designated hitter, Ryan.
Steckline went down swinging in the first. Looking for his first hit of the year. Base is empty, 2 away, bottom of the second. And he swings, lifts this one high to right. Gonzalez going back, going back, going back. It's gone! Ryan Steckline not only gets his first hit of the year, but he takes it out to right and sends it to Salt City Splash. And it's now 9-0 Blue Dragons. And for the second inning in a row, the Dragons send 9 to the plate.
Center fielder, number 24.
As Brock Schaefer, the center fielder, takes a called strike. What a greeting for the freshman for Cloud, Jacob Dower. 2 of the 3 guys he's faced have taken him out of the park. This one's in the dirt. 1-1. Dragons, 9 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. The T-Birds, no runs, no hits. Also committed an error. Schaefer turns on this and drives it into the right field corner. Gonzalez is going to cut it off at the track. Schaef's already on his way to second and is going to get there standing up. How about another extra base hit? 10 total hits, 6 doubles, 2 home runs for Hutchinson so far through an inning and 2/3.
Shortstop, number 9.
And in the top of the second, Dylan Nedved's going to have his 3rd plate appearance of the day. He doubled to start this inning. Lined out in the first, 1 for 2. Scored a run earlier this inning. And he lines this to right. That's going to be down in front of Gonzalez for a base hit. Here comes Schaefer. He's going to send him. The throw to the plate. Safe. It's 10-0. Nedved at first. Ten Blue Dragons now have hit in the bottom of the second. 7 have come around to score. Logan Sartori, the second baseman, he doubled in his previous at-bat this inning after a first inning single. 2 for 2. Sartori lifts this one high and foul down the right side. It's out of play. Ten runs, 11 hits for Hutchinson, leading at 10-0 here in the bottom of the second. Sartori takes this one upstairs. Evens the count 1-1. Dylan Nedved getting a lead at first. Sartori called strike 2. Dower comes set, checks the runner. Fouled away. Count remains 1-2. What wind there is blowing in, but that has not bothered the Blue Dragon hitters at this point. Pitch upstairs, 2-2 the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, bottom of the second. This is a fister. Sartori pops it. Dower's going to run in, make the catch, and that's going to end the inning. But the Dragons score 7 runs on 8 hits and have taken a 10-0 lead through 2 innings.
Bottom of the second inning.
Second baseman Luis Landeta to lead things off for the Thunderbirds here in the top of the third. Facing Miguel Reyes. Reyes starts him off with a fastball outside corner. Landeta making his first plate appearance of the day. A couple of Blue Dragons have already had 3 plate appearances. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Hutchinson leading this one 10-0 as we start the top of the third. Landeta reaches, grounds this one to short. Nedved fields it, fires it across for the out. Back to the top of the order. Center fielder Ryan Simons.
Top of the Thunderbird order.
Simons hit a slow roller to the right side first time up, reached on an error, ended up at second, advanced to third on another ground out, but was left stranded. Reyes looking sharp. 0-1 the count. Just outside. Evens it at 1-1. Seeing those golfers over there is getting me excited for the Blue Dragon Athletic Department Golf Tournament. Coming up Friday, May 11th at Cary Park Golf Course here in Hutchinson. Great way to support the athletic department. Write down this phone number, 665-3530. If you want information on that tournament, give the athletic department a call. Check swing, ball low, 3-1. Great way to support the student athletes. Here's a high chopper. Nedved gets it, fires across Baxley. Great pick by Bax, but he beats it out. Wasn't a lot they could do with that one. Infield single for Simons.
Left fielder, number 7, Matt Bondarchuk.
Brings up Matt Bondarchuk. Bondarchuk hit a slow roller to Ryan Moritz at third, retired in the first. Here's a sharp grounder to Nedved, tailor-made to Sartori for one. Over to Baxley, but he throws it past Baxley. It's going to be an error. Second of the day for Sartori. It's going to move Bondarchuk up to second, but they get the force at second.
Right fielder, Enrique Gonzalez.
Brings up the right fielder, Enrique Gonzalez. Gonzalez struck out looking in the first. Bondarchuk at second, 2 away, top of the third. Inside. Ball 1. Picnic tables are pretty crowded. The bar top tables down the left field line have a great crowd around them. This one's fouled out of play for a strike. Reyes gets a new ball. 1-1 the count. The windup. And the pitch. Off-speed pitch. This one's driven deep to right center field. That's going to one-hop the fence. Schaefer's going to field it. This is going to get home the first Thunderbird run of the game on a double by Enrique Gonzalez. Sometimes this is what you worry about with a big inning that the Blue Dragons had and your pitcher sits for a while.
Eric Zabrowski.
It's going to bring up the designated hitter, Eric Zabrowski. Zabrowski struck out to end the first. Turns on this one, lifts it deep to left, but Divis has a beat on it and makes a shoestring basket catch to end the T-Bird third. So they get one back on a pair of hits and a Blue Dragon error. And after 2.5, Hutchinson leads it 10-1. Bobby the Bus Morganson leads off the bottom of the third for Hutchinson.
The third inning for the Hutchinson Blue Dragons, right fielder number 11, Bobby Morganson.
Officially 0 for B. Walked and scored in the first. Flew out the center in the second. This one at the plate. Just this week, enrollment opened up for current Hutchinson Community College students. April 6th, it opens up for anybody looking to take classes at Hutch CC. Two and one the count now to Bobby. Called strike, evens it up 2-2. Outside, full count. Swing and a miss. Morganson goes down. So one away for Hutchinson here in the bottom of the third. It's going to bring up Wyatt Divis. Div 2 for 2 with a pair of doubles. Scored a pair of runs. Takes ball one. Wyatt lifts this one to left center. Bondarchuk made it interesting, but made the snag. I think that might have been a little bit of the factor of the wind blowing in, that he blew it a little bit more shallow than what he expected. Had to come in and lunge at it. So two away now for Hutch.
Catcher, number 17.
Here in the bottom of the third. Brings up Garrett Stevens. Garrett with a single double in his first two at-bats. Tried to check his swing. Didn't matter. Called strike one. Foul tip, 0-2. After sending 9 to the plate in the first and 11 to the plate in the second. Dragons now with a strikeout go down in order. So they retire him. Strikeout 2-3 for the third out. And after 3, it's Hutchinson 10, Cloud 1.
fourth inning.
First baseman Ryan Krolikowski to lead things off for the Thunderbirds here in the top of the fourth to face Miguel Reyes. Pitch outside. 1-0 on a gorgeous afternoon. Hobart-Detter Field, Cary Park, Hutchinson, Kansas. Krolikowski fouls this one out to the parking lot. Evens the count at 1-1. This one comes straight back to the press box. Nathan Light showing great composure this time. He's learned his lesson already this year. No flinching. 1-2 the count. Just off the outside, 2-2. While Nathan had great composure, we're quite certain Thomas Nelson flinched in his chair at the sports arena. This is grounded to the right side. Snagged nicely by Baxley. He's going to win the race to the bag. A 3 unassisted for the first out. Torin Langley, third baseman.
Third baseman, Torin Langley.
First pitch swinging, lifts this one to right. Morganson backpedals, just short of the track, makes the catch. Shortstop Aiden Huggins. Huggins popped out to second baseman Logan Sartori in his first at-bat. Tries to check his swing, fouled off. 0-1. Ball evens the count, 1-1. Two and one now the count. 2 away here in the top of the fourth. Just off the outside corner. 3-1 now to Huggins. Blue Dragon bullpen quiet. Miguel Reyes has allowed just 1 run on a pair of hits. Here's the 3-1. Huggins lines this sharply. Sartori knocks it down. Makes the throw, and a great scoop from Zach Baxley to end the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for the T-Birds here in the fourth. Hutchinson leads it 10-1. Zach Baxley, after a couple of nice defensive plays in the top of the fourth, leads off the bottom of the fourth for Hutchinson. Swing and a miss at the first one. Facing Jacob Dower. Bax checks his swing. Counts even at 1-1. Dower came in the bottom of the second. Baxley was the first one he faced. Bax lifts this one to right. Gonzalez, the son, giving him a few issues, but he makes the catch. Baxley greeted Dower in the bottom of the second by sending one over the left field fence, over the trees beyond the left field fence, and into the parking lot beyond the left field fence. To welcome him to Hobart-Detter. Brings up Ryan Moritz, third baseman. First pitch, foul. Moritz walked in the first, grounded out to second, in the second. Dower starting his second full but third inning of work, coming in relief in the second. Set down the Dragons 3 up, 3 down in the third. Moritz now ahead in the count, 2-1. See some folks out on motorcycles taking a leisurely cruise through Cary Park today. Swing and a miss evens the count at 2-2. Moritz takes that one outside. Full count, 3-2. Ryan Steckline on deck. Here's the full count pitch, fouled back. Count remains full. Fouled back again. Just got a piece of it, stayed alive. Bottom of the fourth, this one's scheduled for 7. We're halfway home. And the off-speed pitch fools him, and Moritz goes down, swinging. So 2 away. That's 6 in a row now set down by Jacob Dower. Brings up the Blue Dragon designated hitter Ryan Steckline. Steckline took one out to over the right field fence in his last at bat. Dragons leading at 10-1. Lifts this one high and foul down the right field line. Krolikowski looking, runs out of real estate. They gave chase. Just not quite enough room. That one lands in the bullpen. 0-1 the count. Steckline, one of several Blue Dragons that will spend their summer playing wood bat baseball for the Hutchinson Monarchs. Turns on this one, flies to center field, right center. Simons runs it down for the third out. So 3 up, 3 down for the Blue Dragons. After 4 complete, Hutchinson leads it 10-1. Dario DeSantis, the catcher for Cloud County, leading off the top of the fifth. Fouls the first pitch out of play. Ten to 1 Blue Dragons. 10 runs, 11 hits. 2 Blue Dragon errors. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error for Cloud. This one's lifted. Shallow right field. Morganson gives it chase, makes the catch just in fair territory for the first out of the top of the fifth. Brings up Luis Landetta, second baseman for the Thunderbirds. Grounded out to short in his only at-bat in this game. Miguel Reyes on the mound for his 5th inning of work for Hutchinson. Handcuffs Landetta with a great-looking fastball on the inside part of the plate. Oh and 1 quickly the count. Turns on this one. Just foul. Just miss extra bases down the third base line. That was not foul by much. But the umpire made a very quick, very authoritative call. Stoppage of play. Well, the Blue Dragons chases that one down. It went down the line and ended up in fair territory. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Reyes. Landetta turns on this one, kind of cue balls it off the end of the bat. It falls foul. In foul territory, again, just down the left field line. So after working him inside, looks like he went outside on that one, and Landetta kind of caught it off the end of the bat. And that one outside corner gets him swinging for the second out of the inning. So that gets back to the top of the order for the T-Birds. Center fielder Ryan Simons. Simons 1 for 2, reached on an error in the first, singled in the third. He's done a good job patrolling center field for the T-Birds today. Takes called strike 1. Not much movement at the flag right now in center field. Low and in the dirt for ball 1. Ball 2 in the dirt. Mark your calendars for Tuesday, April 17th. The Dillon Lecture Series at Hutchinson Community College would welcome Captain Scott Kelly. The 2-1 pitch. Tried to check his swing. Couldn't do so. Evens the count at 2-2. Captain Scott Kelly holds the distinction of spending the longest continuous time in space at 340 days on the International Space Station. This one's fouled off to the right. Tuesday, April 17th at 10:30 a.m. at the Hutchinson Sports Arena. Get a first-hand account from Captain Kelly on his adventures in space. Tickets are on sale now at the Cosmosphere in Hutchinson at 11th and Plum. This one's lined to center. Schaefer on his horse. Dives and makes the catch. So a great snag by Brock Schaefer ends the 5th inning for Cloud. Dragons continue to lead this one 10-1.
Leading off the bottom of the fifth.
Bottom of the fifth inning at Hobart-Detter Field.
Number 24, center fielder.
Center fielder Brock Schaefer to lead things off for the Blue Dragons. Check swing, ball one. Schaefer grounded out to first in the first, doubled in the second. Turns on this one, lines a single into right for his second hit of the day. Jacob Dower for Cloud had retired 7 in a row before that base hit. Gets us back to the top of the order, and Dylan Nedved.
The shortstop, number 9, Dylan.
Nedved's 2 for 3. Lined out in the first, doubled in the second, and singled in the second when the Dragons sent 11 to the plate. Takes that one down for ball one. Coach Knack handling the PA duties for us today. There's a sharp grounder that's olayed by the third baseman. It's going to be an error, the second error of the game on third baseman Torrin Langley. So the Dragons now with 2 on to start the bottom of the fifth.
Second baseman.
Brings up second baseman Logan Sartori. Sartori pops this one up. It's going to be an infield fly. Second baseman makes the catch. Landetta for the first out of the inning. Gets us to Bobby Morganson. Morganson with a walk, fly out to center.
Right fielder, number 11.
And a strikeout. Has yet to join the hit parade of 12 hits on the day for the Blue Dragons. Bobby takes this one outside. Game scheduled for 7. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Dragons up by 9. A year ago, we would tell you confidently that 1 run could end this one on a run rule, but we're not sure what the run rule status is because we've had some this year that have been run rule situations that did not end. But we've seen some other Jayhawk West conference games that have been played that did end in 5. So if they get a run, we'll tell you. We'll figure it out then. Bobby sends this one high, pops it up on the first base side. Foul territory. Krolikowski makes the catch. And if they get one more out, it won't come into play. It's going to bring up Wyatt Divis. Divis 2 for 3. 2 doubles and a fly out to left. Everything Divis's hit has gone to the left side. And you know Wyatt's hitting it well when that's the case. Schaefer at second. Nedved at first. Schaefer singled. Nedved reached on an error. Wyatt Divis at the plate facing Jacob Dower. This one's high and away, ball 1. Coach Knack on the PA, Corbin Strobel, Director of Admissions at Hutchinson Community College, pinch hitting and helping out with Twitter. This one's fouled out. Out of play to the left. This just goes to show it takes 3 of us to replace the work of Steve Carpenter. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Off speed, had him fooled. Had Wyatt fishing for that one. 1-2 the count. Now to Divis. This one's grounded through the right side. That's going to be a base hit. Schaefer around third. He's going to score easily as Gonzalez bobbled the ball. That's the ball game. Umpires called the ball game. So the RBI single from Wyatt Divis scores Brock Schaefer here in the bottom of the fifth. And that's going to make the final score. Blue Dragons 11, Cloud County 1. Hutchinson with 11 runs on 13 hits, committed 2 errors. Cloud, 1 run on 2 hits, 2 errors. Miguel Reyes goes complete game, 5 innings to gets the win for Hutch. The loss goes to Kobe Spicer of Cloud. He falls to 0-2 on the season. We will be back in approximately 25 minutes with Game 2 action. That will be a 9-inning game. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at you in a minute.